Hi, my name is Christopher Hansen. Is there a time limit or anything, or I won't be long. um, so I live in Urbana. I had become interested last year in trying to review some of the CUPHD board meetings, and I came to find that I couldn't find really any of them at all online. Most public bodies do post their meeting recordings. I mean, you're not required to, but most public bodies do it. So a year ago, I submitted a FOIA request asking for the your meeting recordings, and it took me 5 or 6 months to get any production of records from CUPHD. The FOIA statute does indicate a 5-day response time, or an additional 5 days if you issue an extension. So I'm not really sure why that's the way CUPHD operates. They are just meeting recordings. Really nothing controversial about those records. There's no redactions that need to be done or anything. Like I said, most public bodies just publicly post these. So I do hope this board will look into why a simple FOIA request took half a year. At this point, I still don't have all the records. There's some 30-some meetings that are missing. I did file a request for review with the PAC, and that's currently ongoing. During that request, I came to learn that, I guess in early 2020, the CUPHD FOIA officer, Patricia Robertson, had emailed the PAC, and apparently trying to get some type of allowance to take a longer amount of time to respond to FOIA requests due to COVID. So, I mean, I kind of get that, but I hope this body realizes that the circumstances surrounding COVID make things like the Open Meetings Act and FOIA much more important, not less important, to comply with. So, and it's my understanding that this April 2020 letter or something like that, 2020 or 21, is still being used by CUPHD to this day to justify substantially delayed FOIA responses. So, like I said, the statute says 5 business days. I didn't get a response for 5+ months, and I'm still waiting on records. I also note that in the letter that was submitted to the PAC, the FOIA officer, the CUPHD FOIA officer, claimed that you guys were getting a surge of FOIA requests in early 2020. And I looked at your FOIA logs, and that's just not true. You guys were actually receiving far fewer requests at that time. So in my opinion, it looks like CUPHD was sending false information to the Illinois Attorney General, and that's not acceptable. So I hope you guys will address this. I do hope I can eventually get the records that I asked for. I got some of them, haven't gotten all of them. And I guess what I'd like to point out is I don't know how to properly deal with COVID. That's your guys' job. But a lot of people have questioned some of the regulations and things that have been put in place around COVID. And I think what this body should contemplate is, if you can't comply with the regulations that are placed upon you in terms of things like the Open Meetings Act and public records, to what extent can you place restrictions on other people? And again, COVID makes it far more important that you comply with these things, not less important. I'll leave it there. Thanks.